And I'm telling you, it's because Black men have said that very same statement that they don't want, if you so independent, you don't need our money. As a matter of fact, there's been countless comments that when somebody talk about their independence or they're doing something good, they'll say something like, well, if you so independent, then go independently do this, or you don't need our money for this, or why are you asking us for money? Like, these are comments from men. And so it's not that she's saying it and it's unique and whatnot. It's only unique because she's taking advantage of the fact that she's white, and for some silly ass reason, sounds to me like we're giving more validity just because of the fact that she's a white woman saying it, versus if what has already been said by Black men countless time. And as a matter of fact, some Black women actually have made this statement as
Yeah,
well
I wouldn't hear it from
about the
her.
whole independence. So I just want to add you some additional stuff since
Okay,
you
then I'll
went
push
down
back.
this
Go ahead.
road. I'm looking forward to this pushback because I'm gonna add some additional stuff to that, because here's how I feel. I feel like just because she can do it doesn't mean she has to do it or she should do it, i.e., go at it on her own by herself. Or I won't even say that, but not rely on a man for their money. So we're talking about this whole independence, right? And because we've been socialized to survive without a man, whereas men kind of been taught to thrive with a woman's support, but that woman support isn't free. You know, we're used to women providing free emotional labor, right? Bring that emotional support, that peace, that organization skills, the encouragement, the social intelligence and whatnot. And so if a man can't bring money to the situation to help overcompensate where he's lacking somewhere else, i.e., that emotional intelligence piece, because most of them don't. Now, I will admit, once again, on this panel, you guys tend to be more emotional intelligent, as in you are emotionally intelligent. So, therefore, you may not have to feel like you have to overcompensate by bringing the money to additional money to the table. So, women who make money know that their peace is priceless, basically. And so, she's not about to risk it for somebody who can't provide her with stability, because men who make less have a tendency to bring their egos as well as their anger, resentment, and everything else to the table and constantly trying to tear that woman down because they're making less.
Oh
And
my God.
no, I actually have friends who have gone through that where they get clowned because they make more. Some people like, oh, well, maybe it's their attitude. Because I even asked myself, I said, well, maybe it's your attitude. Or maybe it's the way you present, the fact you throw this in their face. Do you do this? And their answer was like, no. But every chance they got, they tore them down in every possibility. So if this man is equally yoked, or he's coming somewhere else, or he's has more offered to this particular woman, then 9 out of 10, the relationship has a better chance of having that stability, because the man feel like he's in control, he's in power. And as a matter of fact, most of the men who have been abusive, and don't get
'Cause
me
I'm
wrong on this one,
going.
but abuse, for one, cuts across all demographics, right? But it has been shown also that men who feel like they lack power in their relationship, and because men have a tendency to equate money to power, those men tend to be more likely to be abusive to their partner, their spouse, their significant other, because they lack that money. So it's having somebody to want more. Now, this clip that you guys are talking about, that's not how she presented it. But I'm just saying, overall in society, there is a valid point for a woman, whether she's independent, claiming independence or not, to want somebody to make more.
Okay, I don't mean to leave y'all out of this, man, but it was just okay. So let's say first off, you're putting this in a relationship thing, and this woman was talking dating. If we're dating, I don't need to sponsor you. Okay, dating should be where you
I
show me
agree.
you do have it together, where you show me you can balance your budget, where you show me you can watch your money. And I see how your spending habits are. So I know if I want to partner with you, because once we partner together in an actual relationship, then we are building our lives together. So let's say it's like a business, right? Let's say our business is making apple pies. Okay. Now, if we go out in the field and you decide you want to be an apple collector, and I'm an apple collector too, okay, and you collect more apples than me, all right, what is the sense of you going, no, I'm going to use all your apples because I need to maintain the lifestyle of having a bucket full of apples I've been having? Instead of saying, let's make these pies and sell what we got to do and put it all together. It's that my money is my money and your money is my money mentality. That's the problem. And when it happens in dating, it's premature and it's out of place. If you trying to build a future together, what I'm saying, on the first date, second date, third date, I'm dating 3 people at one time. Why am I financing these people? I have not chosen one. I'm not protecting them. They're not under my protection, my provision. And I'm saying if a person got triggered as you were, then
Right.
I think it's because women are using this as their lifestyle and not a strategy. Not like, oh, I got my bills paid, but I just want to do this thing. Hey, can you do this thing? That's one thing. But if you're asking to be on the payroll, that's gold digging because you don't have proper goal setting. Okay. That's not knowing your worth. That's not knowing your value. That's charging a stupid text or a thirsty text. That's what
They
I'm
don't
saying.
like it when I bring up the tax because they own the tax men they don't like.
Facts. Rhymes with text.
Because I
Facts,
always say, no matter whatever
facts,
standards, whatever, oh, I got all these
facts.
standards, you got to make all of this money, I got all these standards. Guess what? She's giving it to lesser men for less. And I'm going to leave it at that.
I find this concept that you said S&M that women who are well off want peace.
No, they value
Huh?
peace.
They
Women
We
that
what?
all value
I said
peace.
women that are well off value peace.
What's well off
And
exactly? Can we put some numbers on here? Because I feel like there's a lot of like thousandaires or 10,000aires or whatever that feel like they're much better off than people, right?
okay,
But
so
like, can
one,
we
you're
put a
not
number
going
on
to
it?
trap me into this conversation or put in a number because if somebody feel like they're as far as well off, because everybody have difference between well off. Somebody who's in the middle class, a woman who's in the middle class may feel like she's well off, whereas somebody who is in the upper middle class, lower middle class, or however the case may feel like they're well off for whatever the situation they're in at that time. What I will say is this: the reason why I pointed that out, because I kind of know where you're going. The reason why I pointed that out is because they've been studies shown that prove a man who is financially capable and generous often feels more confident, secure, and less emotionally chaotic when he's in a relationship. That's the reason why I pointed out the whole peace thing.
What the no, that's not
What?
what? No,
What?
that had nothing to do.
I'm
Y'all
telling
been
you,
That
this
talking
mean
is
when
what
enough.
she
Y'all
not
studies
been
stressing
talking
show.
him,
enough.
he does better.
This
That's a
this
whole different
conversation is not
conversation.
that exciting. We're gonna need to wrap it on up. I'm sorry because what the fuck are we talking about here?
She brought in some
Like,
red herring stuff.
I'm saying the idea that women who are better off want peace. That's cap. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all don't want peace for
Uh,
real. That's why one of the stories that we did talk about was how women get bored in relationships, right? Like, I don't think we really understand the fact that sometimes healthy relationships can be boring. You know what I'm saying? And peaceful. And guess what? Sometimes one person enjoys that environment and sometimes the other person does not. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's the woman who's want to be peaceful like that.
Well, they
Sorry.
do, right?
So that's cap, right? I think what happens is, and I'll make this quick because again, listen, what's really happening is because SNL, I was going to ask you a question, but it's going to be rhetorical. So, please don't answer because I doubt that your friend came back to you, the one who said, oh, my husband or whoever I'm dating is so insecure. I doubt she came back to you and told you about the ways that she might have been manipulative because she was in the position financially, right? She probably didn't tell you about the ways that she maybe tried or and succeeded in making him feel small. I'm not saying that's what happened, but oftentimes, and I know even my friends, they'll come
Yeah.
back to me and tell me shit. And I'm like, okay, what's the other side to it, right? So I get it that you want to use that as an example, but it's also examples where men are okay and they are doing other things. But there's some women who, for whatever reason, who have not been comfortable being in a position of power, right? Some women who maybe have past hurts and traumas they haven't dealt with or fully gotten over, or they have archaic, just like it's funny to me because I think this is where you missed it too, S&M. Some of the same women who are claiming their independence be the same one who also want to claim tradition to a certain extent, right? And for men, they're saying, well, I'm confused. Which one did you want? Because on the one hand, you don't say you need a nigga, but then all of a sudden I'm here and worthy. Now you need my money. I am so confused. I'm getting mixed messages, right? The truth of the matter is most people are not walking around out here their chest all poked out. Oh, I need a man to provide for me because most of y'all ain't living at that level for real, for real. People are meeting other people at their levels or around their levels and they're figuring it out. So a lot of this conversation don't pertain to really most people because many of y'all aren't doing that well to begin with to even really be having this conversation. And that includes some of y'all who just don't understand how debt works when you talk about somebody's net worth to a certain extent. So I get it. Y'all want to be balling on plastic, not paper. That's cool. And y'all want to then throw it in niggas' faces and then get mad because I think it's a natural reaction for people who feel like you're trying to small talk down to somebody or whatever to respond accordingly. So I don't think that the people who respect it, it's all good. But it's the people who don't respect it, the people who are disrespectful, I think, who are really having this conversation because you're disrespecting people by expecting them to sit there and hear you say one thing and then expect them to show up a different way. The math is just not mathing. That's all I got to say.